Welcome to Wandering Monsters, the show where we take random games you've never heard of and play them because we love to. This is Aaron.
And I'm Sarah. Today on the show, we played a little game called Recettear. It was made by Studio Easy Game Station, released in Japan back in 2007, and localized in September of 2010. It's available on Steam. It was the first independently made Japanese game to be distributed on Steam, and it sold a lot better than they expected it to.
Yeah, 170,000 copies as opposed to the, 10 or so?
They thought 10,000 was their mark to hit, so went very well received game for a little indie Japanese visual comic adaptation. Yeah,
it's a game made by a studio that does mostly visual novels and the like, and they didn't think it would sell here in the West because, well, those games don't sell here in the West.
But honestly, its charm here in the West is the fact that it's basically Harvest Moon and or Animal Crossing. So Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing fans, have we got a game for you?
Yes. Instead, in this time, the addictive gameplay has nothing to do with farming or doing little quests for your friends. It's running an item shop.
Yeah, basically the premise of this game is you're running an item shop, much like if you're playing like Final Fantasy or some sort of RPG. You go to the item shop, you need to buy potions and armor and stuff. You're that guy. Or in this case, small girl. Kind of ditzy girl.
Really ditzy girl.
And her fairy sidekick, because that's necessary.
Lone shark / sidekick, yes. Because that's the reason why you're running an item shop, not because you enjoy running item shop. It's because your father ran away and left a giant debt, and if you don't pay it off, then they're going to take your house, and you will be homeless.
It's very sad.
So you have a month to pay off this gargantuan debt, and it is gargantuan.
Yeah, that's the big objective for the game, is to sell enough items every week to make your payments so that you don't get your house taken away from the fairy loan company.
Yeah, apparently. Well, yeah, and it starts out small, but they get really big really quick. The loan payments do. So it's definitely a challenging game.
But as you can see here up on the screen, we got some sales going on. People come into your shop, pick things out, and they'll try to buy it. You set a price, try to make a profit. Sometimes it's too much, and you got to bring it down. If you don't bring it down enough, they get mad and call you names and leave.
And they leave, yes. And then generally it stops the sales for that day, or lowers the amount of sales you'll be getting on that day. So you definitely don't want to piss people off. They remember you.
You get there's a lot of other RPG elements in here. Experience for making sales.
Yep.
Different times of day to manage.
You have a merchant level, and as your merchant level gets bigger, different types of sales become available. You start out just being able to sell things like you're doing right now, but as you get more levels, customers try to sell things back to you, which you can haggle with them about the price of.
They come unload all their junk, as RPG players are wont to do.
You can get requests. They'll ask for things that you don't have on display, then you have to try to fulfill their requests. It's not like, I want a longsword, it's like, I want something metal, and you have to fish through your inventory looking for a metal thing to sell them. And then also later on you could take requests. Someone will come in and say, I want 3 weapons in 2 days. I'll be back for them then. Is that alright? And you have to say yes or no, and if you decide to take it, then you have to have it. Otherwise they get really pissed at you.
And as far as acquiring these items go, you can go into town. There's like a map once you leave your shop with some various places you can visit, such as a market for food and a Merchant's Guild?
Yeah, Merchant's Guild sells like weapons and armor and stuff at below list costs so that you can then resell them and make a profit.
Yeah.
The other way to acquire goods, the only other way to really acquire goods other than by buying them from customers, is to find them in dungeons. And a good chunk of the game is spent with you find and hire adventurers, and then you follow them into dungeons where they kill things for you, and you loot their stuff, and you come back and sell it to other adventurers.
You befriend a variety of adventures throughout the game.
Sure, and they hit all the common tropes. There's a swordsman, there's a lady thief, there's a martial artist, there's an elf archer, there's the mage is actually a guy, so that maybe is not.
There's mage guys. I've mage guys in.
But you
think
magical girl would kind of hit you square in the trope bullseye, but.
Yeah, well, it goes either way.
Yeah, and it's just a little interesting, fun little game with quirky humor. Here's the dungeons here.
With fish traps.
With traps, yeah, including flying tuna. This one, this is a fairly high-level character for this dungeon. It's actually pretty hard at the beginning before you get access to better equipment and high-level characters.
This game is adorable.
It is.
This is the first game that we've played around with so far where I actually left going, I really, really want to buy that game.
And it's pretty easy to acquire. It's available pretty much only through Steam or a few other kind of digital downloading services, and it's fairly inexpensive. And the list price is $20, but I bought it for like $6.
Well, Steam sale is synonymous with the word Steam, so if you watch it long enough, you can surely get it for cheaper. But no, it got pretty good reviews. Its Metacritic score was pretty high if you care about things like that. Definitely plays to a certain audience.
Sure. Of
which I'm squarely planted in, with both being sort of, I love the Japanese, like the art style, and I love the Harvest Moon Animal Crossing sort of feel. So, I mean, this game, I'm a little biased, I guess I should say.
And if you're an anime watcher, if you have played other visual novels, if you like JRPGs, you'll understand. You'll get a lot of the in-jokes. You'll understand the tropes, and you'll appreciate them. They're not used poorly here. We should probably move on to our good things and bad things, huh?
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and give us our three goods.
Representing the good this week is Aaron here. The three good things we found out about this game is the addicting gameplay, in the same way that Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing or any of those other one more day games are out there. Here's all the goofy things that are said over the course of the game. The second thing is excellent localization, great in-jokes. And the third thing is the art style. We loved it, and it definitely feels at home with us.
Yeah, the only bad things we really found about it are, first of all, the repetitive audio in the game was a little annoying.
It's only like 3 music tracks, and they just get looped over and over again. I usually turn the music off and listen to something else.
Yeah, they're not bad tracks. They're really charming, in fact, at first, but they just play nonstop, and they needed to mix it up a little bit more. And then the audio cues, like the little blippets that people say, I'm used to those being recycled, but once again, they were kind of recycled ad nauseum.
Sure.
2, lots of tutorial in this game. You can skip most of it, but I mean, like, very long-winded lessons for things that are pretty easy.
Yeah,
I feel.
They make you test buying and selling things like 3 times before they let you out into the real world.
They treat you kind of like an idiot. And I feel like this kind of game plays to a more experienced crowd anyway, so very unnecessary. The third thing was, I felt, even though I loved this game, I felt like it was missing something, and it lacks sort of that open world quality that would kind of put it right up on that level with like an Animal Crossing or a Harvest Moon. And it's probably because it's a visual novel and they don't normally have that kind of quality, but it just kind of made it feel a little closed in, and I feel like that would have set this game way up there.
Definitely would have.
Yeah,
but I mean, especially for the price point, it's hard to beat. The value.
No, I think unless you couldn't tell, we highly recommend this game. This was a fun one. So wait for it to go on sale on Steam, or if you don't mind dropping the $20 on it. I believe there's a demo on Steam if you want to give it a try.
Demo. Yep. Through like the first week of gameplay.
I think we'll definitely recommend it.
We are recommending this one. So that's it for this week. We'll be back in a couple weeks to bring another silly game to you.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Peace.